Hi, how you guys doing? This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and we are live on YouTube with our famous top 10 stocks for November 2019. And this is a list of cannabis companies, cannabis stocks. Some of them are profitable, some of them are on the path to profitability. But these are all companies that I really like and I think have enormous upside. First of all, in number 10 spot, I want to talk about Ianthus. Now, if you look at Ianthus, you can see that the high on Ianthus is around $9. Not too long ago, about a year ago, about 14 months ago, Ianthus was at $9.10. You see them today at $2.18, despite the fact that their revenue was $19 million last quarter, and it grew by 7,400% in 1 year. That's right. Ianthus revenue grew by 7,400% in 1 year. They did have 26.1 million in adjusted operating losses in the last Q. That's why I can't have them higher on this list. But if you look at their price point, you can see that they're literally the lowest they've been since 2017. So, in my opinion, this is a company that has a lot of upside. They have huge potential here. And if they did go back up to even the prices that they were this March, $8, if they were to go back up to $8, that would be a 300% jump from these prices. So I think the upside here is tremendous for Ianthus. Love to know what you guys think. If you agree, smash the like button, comment down below. I want to know your top 10. Put it into the comment sections of LiveMe, of YouTube. We're live on Instagram. So wherever you are, I want to know your top 10. Ianthus is number 10 on my list of top 10. You could see they've already bounced from the bottom. I'm going to show you something. They've already bounced from the bottom. They've already started their resurrection. They hit $1.53 October 10th. They are at $2.18 now. They've already made a big jump. They've already made a big move here quietly because they're coming off the bottom, all right? They are number 10 on my list. Number 9 is Planet 13. Planet 13 is a company that I have not really paid a lot of attention to. I've talked about them a little bit, but I just haven't given them in my opinion, the attention they deserve. And it's one that I really have on my radar now. I learned a lot more about them yesterday from the virtual conference that they held. And I was very impressed with what they're trying to do. They're trying to create an experience. They want to create a club where you can go get your cannabis and hang out at this club with a whole bunch of other people in Vegas. I love the idea. I love the concept. They want to get a pool. So imagine club, pool, cannabis, guys, girls, everybody hanging out. I really like what these guys are doing. 16.5 million in quarterly sales, 275% year-over-year growth. 1.4 million in profitable operating income. 1.4 million in adjusted operating income. So this is a company that is actually making money. So don't sleep on Planet 13. They're number 9 on my list, and the revenue growth, the year-over-year growth, the profitability cannot be denied. At $1.78, I think we could have a huge winner here. The highest they've been was $3.45 this April. They're at $1.78 right now, which is a huge premium to those prices. They were at $1.22 on December 24, 2018. Now, I'm not suggesting these stocks can't go lower, okay? I'm not saying that as soon as I talk about a stock, you have to buy it. That's not what this is about. I'm wanting you guys to put these stocks on your radar, put them on your watch list, date the stocks. I want to have conversations about these picks. I want to know your opinions on these picks. Do you like Planet 13? Do you like what they're doing? Have you tried their products? I want to know. We need feedback, okay? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining me. I want to know your feedback. Planet 13, number 9 on my list of companies that I think could be huge companies in November 2019 and beyond. I'm not suggesting you go out and you buy them just because I'm talking about them today. These are companies that I think have a future. All 10 of these are companies that I think have a future in the cannabis sector and a huge future. Now, in number 8 is GW Pharma. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these companies are about to report. So these numbers are from last Q. These companies are about to report. I would not be surprised to see a lot of these companies report bigger quarterly revenue. GW Pharma, $72 million in quarterly sales in the last quarter. 2,094% year-over-year growth. But despite that, showing adjusted operating losses of $29.3 million. Despite that, they have been performing unbelievably in the market, still trading well over $100. GW Pharma has been a giant, an absolute giant, a rock in the cannabis sector. Look at this, $133. They got a tight share structure, tight float, and they've got a product that is blowing up in Europe. Okay? GW Pharmaceuticals. Now, if we take a look at the 2-year chart, you can see they've only dipped. The low in the last 2 years is $94, December 27, 2018. So there's a little bit of downside here. The upside is $187, and we're currently at $133. GW Pharmaceuticals, like I said, very high priced, but this is a company that has a chance to be a giant. They are already a giant. Will they maintain this price? It remains to be seen, but they have incredible upside. Incredible upside. Let me show you guys the share structure. It's crazy. 30 million total shares. So this is why the price is so high. They have such a tight float. 30 million total shares, and only 21 million of those shares are in the float. So be careful. I'm not suggesting you go and you run out and you buy it, because this stock could definitely go down because it's priced very high, but they have a great product. They are growing in sales. Once again, 2,094% year-over-year revenue growth. That is absolutely astronomical year-over-year revenue growth. Okay, GW Pharmaceuticals. Now in number 7, GTII. Oh. There we go. Green Thumb Industries. Green Thumb Industries at $11.11. This is another company that has a chance to be an absolute giant. Look at this. The high, which was last September, $30. The low, which was last August, before it went to 30, it was at $8.58. Currently at $11.11. I see huge upside here. I see a $20 stock in the future. These guys have so much potential. 128 million shares issued and outstanding. Green Thumb Industries. 44 million in quarterly revenue, quarterly sales. 228% year-over-year growth. They are still showing a loss of 9.9 million. So be careful, stay focused on those losses and profits, okay? Stay focused on the losses and profits. We need to really follow the profits, but this is a high-priced stock right now, and they are growing exponentially, and they are positioned in America to be a giant, okay? Green Thumb Industries, number 7 on my list for November 2019 and beyond. Put them on your watch list. put them on your radar, date it. Lowest it's been is $8, highest it's been is 30, currently at 11. What you're going to notice with the cannabis sector is almost the entire sector is at the bottom, okay? So in my opinion, this is the best time to buy. I'm not telling you to buy. Go consult your financial advisors, do your due diligence, do your research. I'm just a cannabis enthusiast. I love cannabis stocks. I own 20 of them. I want to own more, and I love this sector, and I think there's so much potential. And I've always been trained in investing to buy stocks when they're low and look for companies that are making money, that are in growth sectors. This is a hyper growth sector. Some of these companies are making money. 5 of the 10 are making money. 5 are still showing losses, but I think that the 5 that are showing losses have the chance to turn it around and that they could be huge giants. That's why I have them on this list. However, I don't control these companies. I don't control these stocks. They could go up, they could go down, they could go sideways. I don't control them. Just remember that. Make sure that you do your due diligence and consult a financial advisor before you invest in anything that we talk about, and especially cannabis stocks, because they're very risky, okay? However, saying that, it's a hyper growth industry and there is enormous upside because we are at the bottom of the sector. Now, in number 6 spot, a company that I've been talking about a lot and has been number 1 for the last 3 months in a row, but I had to knock them down just because they've been going up. And I've been noticing the trend that they go up and they come down, and it may go higher, and I won't be surprised if it does, but they just announced an offering. They're raising some money, so it might go down a little bit because it's been going up. I'm going to show you this. I've been talking about these guys being the number 1 pick for the last 3 months in a row, and they've been going up consistently since I've been talking about them being my number 1 pick. The reason why I said they were my number 1 pick, and I started talking about it in August, and this is when it started. This growth from $10 to where it is now at $13. It's up 30%. Since I started saying in August, September, and October, they were my number 1 pick. Why? Because they're generating profit. They're profitable. Now, they have debt on their books, but they also are becoming profitable, and I think the profits have a chance to grow, okay? I also like their tight share structure. Trulieve. So Trulieve here. Trulieve has 57 million in quarterly sales, 130% year-over-year growth. I love the year-over-year growth. 130% year-over-year growth is spectacular, and 20.9 million in adjusted operating income. That is cash flow. That makes them number 1 in the entire sector with adjusted operating income by a long shot. Nobody's even close to them. They are by far number 1, okay? So the only reason why I'm putting them down on this list, I could have put them number 1 again, is just because they've been going up. Like if you look at their last month, you could see they've been climbing. So just because they've been climbing and they just announced a rights offer, like they just announced an offering to sell some shares recently, there could be a little bit of a sell-off. I wouldn't be surprised. Here it is. Trulieve announces pricing of public offering. So this is why I think this public offering could maybe drag the stock back down to $10. It could. I don't know if it will, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But I still think that there's a lot of upside here with Trulieve. And if you go to share info, and you can find all this information at richtvlive.com, guys. It's all free, absolutely free. We work hard to bring you guys all the tools at your fingertips. A one-stop shop. 110 million shares total. Of that, 35 million are in the float. So a very tight float. Very tight float. One of the key reasons why the stock price is staying high. And obviously, 20.9 million in adjusted operating income. Now, in number 5, Curaleaf. Now, I like Curaleaf a lot. I think the potential for Curaleaf is absolutely enormous, but we need to be careful with Curaleaf because there are a lot of shares that are being unlocked into the market, and that's why I think we're starting to see the sell-off. So I want you guys to look at Curaleaf and look at the chart and see that right now it's at $6.27. The low for Curaleaf was $5.34. I think we could see that low again. I still think there's some more downside here for Curaleaf potentially, but I do think the upside for Curaleaf could be enormous. Because, I mean, look at this. We're at 627 is the low right now. 534 is the low for the last year. But look at the high. Look at on the high side. $15. So anybody who likes Curaleaf that is willing to wait for this company to grow, this could potentially be one of the biggest players in America. 48 million in quarterly sales, 231% year-over-year growth. The reason why I put them ahead of Trulieve is their year-over-year growth was 130% for Trulieve at 57 million. Curaleaf is at 231% year-over-year growth. It just shows me the upside, just the revenue growth of these companies that we're talking about is just tremendous. And if they were to grow by another 230% next year, we're going to be talking about companies that are doing 100 million a quarter. So right now, Trulieve is at 57 million a quarter. Curaleaf is at 48 million a quarter. So the growth potential here is, I mean, if they were to grow by 200%, we're talking about 150 million a quarter, 200 million potentially a quarter. You know, now we're talking about companies that at that point could be grossly undervalued. So there's a lot of catalysts that are coming. There's cannabis legalization in America. There's the Safe Banking Act. There's edibles that are being legalized in Canada that are not even on the shelves yet. There's cannabis-infused beverages that are not on the shelves yet. As these products start getting onto the shelves and the market goes from being underappreciated, underexposed, and undervalued to going back to being hyper-growth mode, overappreciated, overexposed, overvalued, there's a lot of growth and upside here for these stocks. But the key right now is to actually identify the best companies that have the most upside. And I'm once again not trying to tell you guys you need to be buying today. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm just trying to show you where the stocks are, where they've been over their history over the last year, how high they've been even this year, how low they are now this year, and where I think they could potentially go based on their numbers, okay? Now, in number 4 is a company that I've been talking about a lot lately. They don't get a lot of press, but they have a chance to be one of the best. An extraction company, Valens Groworks Corp. Valens Groworks Corp at $2.73, up 1.49% today. Now, if we look at its year chart, you can see that it's already had a nice run. You know, Valens has been one of the stronger ones this year. It was at $1.16 last December. It's run up as high as $4.70 May 16th of this year, okay? So it's consolidated all the way down like everybody else, and now it is kind of around $2.73. I think the upside for Valens is tremendous. 16.5 million in quarterly sales, 87% quarter-over-quarter growth. I love the quarter-over-quarter growth. That is a key metric for me. Year-over-year growth, quarter-over-quarter growth. This is revenue growth. If you can grow by 87% in one quarter your revenue, that is an amazing jump. So I absolutely love what they're doing. 5.5 million in adjusted operating income. I mean, this is a company that's focused on revenue and profitability. So Valens Groworks needs to be on everybody's radar. If you're looking at a cannabis company, you need to look at Valens Groworks. They have a chance to be an absolute giant, okay? And they have a chance to be as big, if not bigger, than MediPharm Labs. Now, another company that I really, really, really like is, and number 3 on my list, is Organigram. So I've been talking about Organigram a lot, and they've been starting to climb back a little bit, but I still think the upside for Organigram is incredible. They are going to be a major player in edibles. And if we look at their 1-year chart, you can see that, I mean, the low was $4.28 last December. And we've now gone back to those levels where it hit $3.61 2 weeks ago, has now made a run back up over $4, hit $4.88 last Friday, and now just consolidated back down to $4.39. So I think the upside is absolutely tremendous. The high is $10.72. So if you believe this is a company that's going to grow, and I'm going to show you some metrics that look pretty good, this is a company that could go back up to those $8-10 range, and you could see a nice multiple. You could see a double. So right now, Organigram, $24.8 million in quarterly sales, and 621% year-over-year growth. I think the year-over-year growth speaks for itself. It's absolutely tremendous. This is the focus of what I'm trying to bring you guys, is look at the year-over-year growth. Don't focus so much on the price. Look at the revenue growth. How could you not pay attention to a company whose revenue has grown by 621% in 1 year? That is spectacular revenue growth. And 1.2 million in adjusted operating income. They're on the path to profits. They're on the path to profitability. These are the companies that have a chance to succeed. If they're profitable now, how profitable can they be in the future? Companies that are losing money, now that they're getting tighter on companies that have no money, they're going to have major issues, because where are they going to get the money from? They're going to have to sell stock. Companies that are making money are not going to have to sell stock, because they're going to be generating profits. So it's vital that we identify as a community all the companies that are profitable and all the companies that are getting on the path to profitability sooner rather than later. Out of this list of 10, 5 of the 10 that I'm bringing you today are profitable, are in the green as far as adjusted operating income. This is a good sign of where this industry is going, and this is what investors need, as opposed to where it was even 6 months ago, where everything was just trading on hype. Now we're starting to trade on real fundamentals, and as we get closer to trading on real fundamentals, what you will find are more institutional investors are going to start to pour in, because they're going to be able to see real EBITDA, they're going to be able to see profit, they're going to see revenue that's going to be closer to what the street expects. Now, in my mind, what the street expects is that if a stock is trading at $10, it should have about $1 billion in revenue. That is, in my mind, the way the street looks at the market. If a stock has less than $1 billion in revenue, it shouldn't trade at $10. So anything over $10 that doesn't have $1 billion in revenue could be very risky, in my opinion. It could come down. So beware there, okay? That's just the way my mind works with the way the street works. Now, some companies might have $1 billion in revenue, but they might not have profit, and because of that, they might be trading at $5. And then there's companies that might have $1 billion in revenue and might have a ton of profit, and they might be trading at $20. But that's just kind of like a median number. We are on the path to having companies doing $1 billion in sales. It's going to happen. Some of them could potentially do it as early as 2020. Cura's talked about it. Canopy Growth has talked about it. Aurora Cannabis has talked about it. Harvest Health and Recreation's talked about it. So a few companies have already talked about it, and obviously Scott's Miracle-Gro is already doing it. They're doing $3 billion in sales a year. So we already know it's possible. The question is, who is going to be the next big company that's going to be the next Scott's Miracle-Gro out of this list? So Organigram is number 3 on my list. In number 2, a company that I've been talking to you about all year that I have fallen in love with and a lot of our members have made a killing with is MediPharm Labs. This one has been amazing this year for a lot of us. It has done extremely well. It's still at $4.63 despite everything collapsing. It's still done extremely well this year. Take a look at that chart. So you can see here that last December, it was at $1.20. MediPharm Labs, it is today at $4.64. It has been one of the most resilient and one of the best stocks in the cannabis sector in 2019. Okay? MediPharm Labs is an extraction company. Extraction is a part of this business. There is not many focused extraction companies. MediPharm Labs, Valens Groworks are two of the biggest and the best. Radiant Technologies is another one. So I'm always trying to identify companies that have huge upside. This is a company that I believe has enormous upside. Now, I'm not saying it can't go down. There's a lot of shorters shorting the stock. I'm going to try to show you guys that statistic. So there's a lot of shorters shorting the stock, but it's very resilient. Now, you could see it was at $7.14 just in August. It's come down and consolidated quite a lot. It was at $3.58 earlier this month. It's already come back up to $4.64 today. Been as high as $4.95 like last week. Exactly a week ago, it was at $4.95. Right now, it's at $4.64. MediPharm Labs, $31.5 million in quarterly revenue. 43% quarter-over-quarter growth. I love that quarter-over-quarter growth. I mean, just quarter-over-quarter growth. 43% quarter-over-quarter growth. I mean, it's just tremendous growth. And $4.2 million in adjusted operating income. Once again, a company that is making profit. This is key. This is a key metric that we really, as cannabis enthusiasts and investors in the cannabis sector that really love this sector, that want to be a part of this sector, we need to mature as investors, myself included, and only invest in the best and the companies that have good income, revenue, profitability, little to no debt, products that people want, good customer service, strong management, great share structures. And the whole idea behind Rich TV Live is for us to work as a community together and share these ideas and share these picks and talk about them and say, what do you think about these picks? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? What do you think is the bottom? What do you think is the top? What companies do you think could go bankrupt in the cannabis sector? Which companies do you think are going to be the next Amazon of cannabis? Who's going to be the next Google of cannabis? Because cannabis will only get bigger. Some of these companies are going to be the best. The key is which ones. Right now, we're so early in the game, we have an opportunity to identify that now at reasonable prices. And I think MediPharm Labs has a chance to be an absolute gem for us and for our community. Love to know what you guys think. And I'm sharing with you guys my top 10 for November that I would personally like to own and buy all of these at some point. I'm not saying I'm going to buy them tomorrow, but I'm watching all 10. And if I buy them, I will let you know. I will let you know. But I like all 10 of these companies. And in number one, a company that I haven't actually put on this list for a long time, and I said I wouldn't do it, but I never thought I would get this low. I never thought they would get this low, to be quite honest with you. So I'm kind of shocked that they're this low, but I have to put them on this list because I just think they are too big to fail. They are the LeBron James of the cannabis sector. They've always been number one since day one, as far as I'm concerned. Then they fired Bruce Linton, and the stock went down. You know, it's down over 100. It's down. It's lost 50%, or what? 100%. It was at $52, $53, $54. It's now at $26. It's lost half of its market cap since they fired Bruce Linton. Canopy Growth Corp. I just think that this price is a gift. I can't understand these prices because if you just look at the chart over the last year, you could see we are at the low. We're talking about institutions are in higher. We're talking about huge investors are in higher. A lot of big people are in Canopy Growth way, way higher. To get into Canopy Growth at these prices could be the gift of the century. okay? We're talking about a company that has a chance to be the global leader in the cannabis sector, currently at 26 bucks. It's been as high as 70. And I'm not talking about a long time ago. I'm talking about this April. This April 29th, it was at $69.90. May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months ago, Canopy Growth was at $70. Canopy Growth has lost $44. Put that into perspective. Canopy Growth has gone down $44 since April 29th. That's how much Canopy Growth is down. So in my opinion, this is a company that has enormous potential. Now, clearly it's been way lower. If you go back to 2017 when I started talking about Canopy Growth, you could see it was at $6. I brought it to you guys at first January 2017 when it was at like $5. It's done a 10x. It went to $70. I just showed you it was at $70 this spring. It's now at $26.33. I'm not saying it can't go lower. Anything can happen. I just think that Canopy Growth has a chance to go to $100. I really do. And if Canopy Growth goes to $100, anybody that gets at 26 has a chance to make a multiple. That's 300% growth. You get into Canopy Growth, one of the biggest and the best players in the cannabis sector in the world, global giant, and they're at 26 bucks, and they've got Constellation Brands, a $1 billion partner behind them. Let me show you some numbers. Canopy Growth, $90.5 million in quarterly sales. They're anticipated to do about $117 million on the next Q. Stay tuned. 249% year-over-year growth, despite the fact that they're at the lowest they've been in a year. Here it is. They're at the lowest they've been in a year, okay? And they just had 249% year-over-year revenue growth. Now, what is the reason why they're down? They lost their adjusted operating income was a minus $216 million in the quarter. If they can improve this and improve on their $1.2 billion loss last Q, I predict that Canopy Growth could really explode from these prices. I think we could see them go way, way higher. And this might be the best time to get into Canopy Growth. The best time to get into Canopy Growth in the last 2 years. This is the last 2 years. The last time we see them at these prices. Yeah, so like February of 2018. It's been almost 2 years since we've seen them at these prices. I don't know what that means, but in my mind, it means there's a lot of big players that have got in way, way higher. And they believe that it could go way higher because all the analyst estimates that I've heard are way higher than 26 bucks. Everybody. And you can go and you can see that. You just click on analyst on Rich TV Live, and if they have analyst estimates, they're going to show up here. So they're giving them a moderate buy. And you can see the analyst estimates. Try to get you a better graph, actually. Let's go to earnings. So take a look at this. This is their current price target. So the highest price target that they've received is $80. The lowest price target they've received is $25. They're currently at $26. So they're right at the bottom. The median price target by all the analysts is $48.55, which is almost 100% up from here. So almost everybody's anticipating that Canopy Growth is going to go up dramatically. These are all the price targets from all the analysts. So you could see that the analysts are estimating that it's going to go way, way, way higher. Just saying. I'm just saying. Love to know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Do you think that Canopy Growth goes way higher? I have not had them as number one on my list for a long time, but I think Canopy Growth at this point now is the lowest it's been since 2017, and it could be an amazing time to position yourself in a global giant that I think has a chance to be, if it goes to $100, a 300% winner from these prices. So stay tuned. Love to know what you guys think. Give me your top 10 picks. Once again, I'll give you my top 10. Ianthus in number 10. Planet 13 in number 9. GW Pharma in number 8. Green Thumb in number 7. Trulieve in number 6. Curaleaf in number 5. Valens Groworks in number 4. Organigram in number 3. MediPharm Labs in number 2. And Canopy Growth Corp in number 1. Top 10 cannabis stocks, November 2019. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. We've been doing this since 2017. A true cannabis enthusiast. Whether the stocks are up, whether the stocks are down, your boy's gonna pull up. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not winning, you're not watching, smash that like button. Comment down below. Do you agree with my 10? Is there something I'm missing? I want to know your top 10. Holler at me. It's your boy Rich from Rich TV Live, and I'm out. Peace. Top 10. Top 10.